Hello everyone. So now we'll be seeing the concept of the fork system call. So what is fork basically do is it is basically the part of a basic process management. Fork, a parent process uses fork to create a new child process. The child process is a copy of the parent. After fork, both parent and child executes the same program but in separate processes. So what fork does is it creates a new process that is exactly the replica of the parent process, and after that the new process, that is the child process, is created. Both continue to execute the same program but in separate processes. And then exec is there. It is used in relation with fork. Not necessary that every time we use the fork we need to use the exec also. What exec does is replaces the program executed by a process. The child may use exec after a fork to replace the process memory space with a new program executable, making the child execute a different program than the parent. So what exec does is it replaces the program executed by a process. So child basically gets to execute a new program executable after using the exec system call. If it doesn't uses it, then it continues to execute the parent program. If it uses it, then the child process gets to execute the new program executable, which is different from the program that the parent was executing. The exit command, it basically, it's also a system call. It terminates the process with an exit status. Basically, this is used to get the status of the child process when the child terminates. The wait system call, in this the parent may use the wait to suspend execution until a child terminates. Using wait, the parent can obtain the exit status of a terminated child. So what wait system call do is, in this basically the parent waits till the time child completes its execution process. For that time it continues to wait, and when the child finishes, it gets the exit status of the child, and then the parent process can continue with its execution of the program. So what is this was the basic concept basically of using the fork call. So here in this the parent call is in execution, fine. Then it uses the fork system call. So what happens is, after the fork, the parent gets to execute the program in its own process, and it also creates a new child, fine. So the new child uses exec system call. After doing the exec system call, the child happens to execute its own program, and when it and then the parent also waits for the child to complete. So when the child completes by using the exit, its status is basically captured through the wait system call, and then basically through the status basically indicates whether the child has exited normally, or some due to some reasons it has interrupted. So all those different statuses can be captured. And then after this wait status, that is after the child is has completed its execution, the parent continues to execute its the whatever the parent program it was executing previously. So the fork basically creates a new child process, and it basically duplicates the original parent process into two parts. One is the parent and another one is the child process. So we can see how the concept is being implemented in practical. So here we have this fork program is there. So we can see the listing of the fork program. what contents are there. So these are the header files when we are these are required when we are using the fork system call. So you can see by doing the man fork command, there it will show you the header files which are required. Then the main program begins. Then this is the return value which the fork will return. Now fork basically it can return either the value greater than 0. If the value is greater than 0, then we will be working in a parent process. If the value returned is equal to 0, then we will be working in the child process. And if the value returned is -1, then it implies that it is unable to create the new process. So here we are taking the case of return greater than 0. That is, firstly we want to work in the parent process. This order can be changed. You can work in the child process first and then in the parent also. You can work in the parent process first and then in the child process. So first we have taken this case of parent process, that is if return value is greater than 0, then we are working in the parent process, and then the PID value of parent process is returned. Fine, that is the unique identification value of the parent process. And the next case is return equal to 0, that is now we want to work in the child process. This message gets displayed, child process. Then PID value of the child process gets displayed. It will be the next successive value from the parent process, and then its parent ID value of this child process will be returned. So both these cases are handled for the parent also, for the child also, and then you basically close the program. So I'm exiting this program, and now you run the program. So this is OP is the output file. So you run this. Now in the output you can see that first the parent process we executed, so that gets executed, and then the PID of the parent process is displayed. Then we were in the child process. The child process message is displayed, and then the PID of child process is displayed. That is, it is the next value. It was 1762 of parent, and now it is 1763 for the child process. So that was how we can use the fork concept. That it should be clear. Initially, the fork concept should be clear. If any doubts are there, you can let me know. Thank you.